Welcome to Reddit Blue Pill Red Pill, where we go over Reddit stories and predict the outcome of the stories. Please listen and play along by typing in your choices into the comments. There are 5 seconds to answer, or you can pause the video. Today we have a story about a man who is being forced to accept his bully as family. All right, let's get on to the story.
This one's got lots of parts, but to simplify it, I, male 18, practically always had an issue with Sadie, female 17, who I've known since kindergarten. Her brother, 20 male, bullied me for 6 months when I was in first grade. Him and his friends bullied me and a few others, but I was his favorite target. My mom got involved and he got in a lot of trouble, especially when he was bullying younger kids. After her brother got in trouble, Sadie turned on me and she has been persistent. My mom was in and out of each school I went to, making sure I was in different classes than Sadie and that the school didn't let Sadie get away with bullying me too. She didn't stop. At least, she didn't stop until we found out my dad is her bio father, which was 10 or 11 months ago.
Wow, that was a lot to take in so quickly. The OP is 18 and he knows a girl named Sadie who has bullied him since kindergarten. The OP was also bullied by Sadie's older brother and has tried to avoid them as much as possible. But the OP has recently learned that Sadie is his half-sister. The OP's father is also Sadie's father, but it seems she was not aware of this. I am typing this script as I read along, but that is how I understand this story so far. It seems that now the OP has to try to build a relationship with a sister he never knew he had, not to mention the emotions of knowing your father had a secret family. Perhaps if Sadie had known the OP was her half-brother, then the entire bullying issue would have never happened. But can the OP move on from here without holding a grudge against Sadie? What do you think? If you think the OP should attempt to build a relationship with Sadie and let bygones be bygones, then type Q1 blue in the comments. If you think the OP has a right to not associate with Sadie due to her part in bullying behavior, then type Q1 red.
Which brings me on to finding out my dad cheated on my mom, and my parents are almost at the end of their divorce now. Dad has tried so hard to stop it. When she was pregnant with me. Sadie's mom wasn't married, but she was with Sadie's brother's dad, and they got married when Sadie was 2. Sadie thought he was her dad too, but he didn't treat her the same, and I have been told over and over to be forgiving and compassionate because the exclusion and verbal abuse she got from her dad made her lash out. I was pissed when I found out. I was pissed at Dad for doing that to Mom, but of all people, Sadie he had to make? Yeah, I made it clear to everyone that Sadie might have the same bio dad as me, but I would never be her brother, and I still hate her, so she can fuck off and leave me alone.
The OP is understandably upset over the whole ordeal and refuses to build a relationship with Sadie. He learned that Sadie's stepfather, who she thought was her biological father, was abusive, and that is why Sadie lashed outwards and bullied others. It is true that children who face abuse at home have a higher probability of being bullies to others in order to lash out for their own mistreatment. This explains why Sadie was the way she was, and her older brother too. But if the OP's father knew his secret daughter was being raised by an abuser, then why didn't he step up then? Perhaps he also didn't know he was Sadie's biological father, but maybe the story clears this up later. If not, then the OP's father is an even bigger dirtbag in all of this. What do you think? Considering the difficult upbringing Sadie had, would you find it in your heart to at least try to build a relationship with Sadie? If so, type Q2 blue in the comments. If you think this new information still does not excuse Sadie's behavior and you would still not have anything to do with her, type Q2 red. My dad's family aren't talking to him either. They don't like the mess he made, and they tried to rally around me and Mom. But a few months ago, they started to change and would ask us to change our feelings towards Sadie and to find compassion. My mom had none for her, and she told Dad's family members there was no way she would family up, her way of describing it, to a girl who tormented me for a decade and even cyber harassed me with messages telling me to kill myself. I told Dad's family that I wasn't willing to have a relationship with Sadie. I said I wouldn't stop them, but they shouldn't expect to see me where Sadie will be.
They told me a million times she's my sister, and I told them she's Dad's affair kid and a stalker, and I hate her. I said Dad fucking up and making her doesn't change that. The OP's family on his father's side have begun to ask him and his mother to accept Sadie and give her another chance. Both the OP and his mother have said they will not accept Sadie in their lives under any circumstances. I can particularly see why the mother would have a hard time accepting Sadie, and it has nothing to do with her being her husband's affair child. Sadie absolutely tormented the OP, and it was his mother who had to protect the OP as a child from her abusive behavior. She wasn't just mean either. She actively wanted harm to come to the OP for some reason. I can see why a mother would not be able to accept someone who tried to hurt her own child. But the father's family have otherwise stuck up for the OP and his mother, taking their side over the husband's. They just feel that had Sadie known the OP was her brother, then maybe none of the bad actions between them would have occurred. What do you think? If you agree with the family that the OP and his mother should find compassion for Sadie, type Q3 blue in the comments. If you think they are out of line to suggest forgiveness for Sadie, then type Q3 red. Sadie's first family function is going to be Christmas, and Dad's side are so annoyed I won't show my face for even a little while. They told me it would be good for me and for Sadie, and I told them I don't care what's good for Sadie. I said seeing her would ruin my Christmas, just like having to pretend I don't hate her would ruin it. They told me I should see all she's been through and be willing to at least see her for their sakes. Am I the a-hole? The OP's family on his father's side have invited Sadie for Christmas. They want to use this meeting as a start for the OP and his mother to start to build a relationship with Sadie. The OP is insistent that he will not go as long as Sadie is there as well. He seems serious about his decision, so at what point will the family accept reality and stop asking him to forgive Sadie? Or should he at least humor them and attend but keep his contact with Sadie to the bare minimum? Christmas is hinging on whether the OP and his mother will attend the family gathering, and further bridges may be burned if he does not go.
This is the end of the initial story, so let's make our decision regarding who is the a-hole in this story. If you think the OP is the a-hole for not attending the family Christmas meeting, type Q4 red in the comments. If you think the OP is not the a-hole, type Q4 blue. The OP answered many questions from the comments, so let's listen to some of those comments and the OP's responses.
Not the a-hole. Time to put people on a contact timeout.
Never thought I'd be in this position, but you're right. At this point, we're going around in circles, and they're going to turn on me more as they realize there's no compromise from me.
Do you still have those messages where she cyberbullied you? Print them and put them in a nice frame and make that your present to your dad's family. A copy for everyone telling you to forgive her. You are not the a-hole. Go spend Christmas with your mom and her family.
I sure do. A few of my cousins read them and even thought it was crazy for the older relatives are pushing me to forgive and be Sadie's brother.
Not the a-hole. A family united only by DNA rather than love isn't a family. Whether Sadie is related or not, there's a lot of history between you two that's sufficient enough to avoid her. I certainly wouldn't want to put on a happy holiday face at my bully's party.
I don't know many people who would. You've also got to make nice, which is not happening. After being told to kill myself by her several different times, I reached the point where there can never be any nice interactions.
Good for you. You should not be forced to interact with your bully. Show your family all the crap she put you through if you can, and if they still insist, you may need to put them in timeout. Is your dad also trying to force a relationship?
My dad's only trying to force Mom to stay with him. He's more or less accepted he lost me.
Not the a-hole. Well done for setting a healthy boundary and sticking to it. Just wondering a couple of things. Has she even tried to apologize for everything? Does your family know the extent of the harassment? I'm not saying you should forgive and forget either way. It's just information you can use when replying to all the guilt tripping. Example, she hasn't even tried to apologize to me for all the torment she caused me. Why would I want to be around a person like that? What kind of sister would tell her brother to kill himself? Or if she has apologized, would you forgive someone if they told you to kill yourself, that stalked you, harassed you in every aspect of your life for a decade? Bad home or not, you can have a relationship with her, but you cannot force me to. And the fact you even suggested otherwise has really hurt me.
She didn't apologize for it. She did ask to put the past behind us and be siblings or something that sums up to that. It shocked the hell out of me, but I want nothing to do with her and I was against it. Apparently, she has said if I would have a conversation with her, she'd apologize, but I don't buy it and I don't care even if she is sincere.
Your parents are in the middle of a messy divorce, your dad is a traitor, and his family are trying to distract themselves from his fuck-up using Sadie. You know what would be good for everyone? If Dad hadn't cheated in the first place. You can't go back in time, but he can at least attempt to pretend he's a better man than he was and protect his kid from the person that's been relentlessly abusing said kid for years. How is your relationship with your dad at this point? If there's potential for reconciliation, then he can show he's sorry for upending your life by keeping Sadie away. Unfortunately, it could be that he feels like he's losing you, so is trying to replace you with someone desperate enough or manipulative enough to exploit him despite him being lying scum. Tell the flying monkeys you're disgusted that they'd throw away someone who's grown up with them as family for 18 years to suck up to an abuser who wanted that relative to off themselves. They're the ones who've made family events unsafe. They can deal with the fallout. Then spam screenshots of Sadie's abuse and mute the chat. Not the a-hole.
I want nothing to do with my dad at this point, and there's no hope for that to change. The way he spoke to my mom when she found out and the way he spoke to me, there's no coming back from that.
Not the a-hole. I was ready to say you were, 'cause never punish kids for asshole fathers, etc. And if you hated her simply 'cause she was an affair kid, it's lame. But seriously, her parentage has nothing to do with anything. She was awful to you, and you don't deserve to have to be around her just 'cause your dad is more of a loser than you thought. Forgiveness is a good thing, but people have to earn it. And her change in parentage isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card. It doesn't sound like she has even tried to make amends. I wonder if she suspected she was the affair kid, and that drive the bullying. Either way, she needs to try to make amends. Your family can't do that for her. And at that point, you choose whether forgiveness is in the cards, which I recommend for your own sake, but up to you.
I don't think she suspected she was the affair kid because when she found out, her reaction shocked me. It all went back to her brother getting into trouble because they are close, but there is no making amends for it. As far as I'm concerned, I would rather be dead than be her actual brother. I can't control that we're related that way, but I can sure as hell keep her from ever being in my family or my life.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching all the way to the end and participating. Please consider liking and subscribing to watch future videos. Goodbye.